Check 1 2 1 2. It's your man Knowledge Born. We are the Gold Defenders podcast. I am here with the regular host of this excursion, Mario Gage,
What's good?
Evan Moore.
What's happening?
We got a guest today. What do you want to be addressed as, Eddie? I feel like you do so many different freaking things. Are you a lawyer today?
Yeah, I'm a lawyer. Let's do lawyer today.
Okay,
yeah,
so entertainment attorney Eddie Sanders Esquire.
Pew, 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 pew.
You know what I'm saying? Because I'm like, this man really is like we got two Renaissance men kind of up here right now. Like, I feel like you working in the finance space and what you do, DJing and musically and all that stuff. And Eddie, what you, a club owner, booking agent,
manager,
artist manager,
DJ.
Wow. You know what I'm saying?
That's what's up.
I'm like, but I think ultimately we're getting to the point where we simplify things and just say creative, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, glad to have you here. This is kind of like a post AllStar Weekend episode. I feel like it's almost like the hangover of AllStar Weekend. For those that didn't know, the NBA All-Star Game was here in Chicago this year for the first time in 32 years?
Yeah, since 88.
Yeah, 88.
So
Yeah.
32 years.
32 years.
Yeah.
And so, there was a lot of uproar on the internet, be it through, at least on my feed, it was on Twitter and Instagram and even Facebook about like, what was it gonna be like if it comes to Chicago? Is people gonna get robbed? Is it gonna be crazy? Should all the hood rats stay inside because the better chicks is on the plane getting flued out? Like, how's it gonna go? Like it was a lot of, and I saw a lot of interesting like memes and funny like little short videos of people talking about how folks is acting different when people come in from out of town, or even like those little jokes like, yeah, like for all the tourists, tell them to go to 75th and Loomis when they get here. You know what I mean? like give them the hood tour, tell them where to go, to have a good time, So I think just in the aftermath of it, from all accounts of what I've heard, it was like one of the most successful All-Star games in some time. And not only just in terms of the events that were happening in the city, but just the way they were pulled off.
Mm-hmm.
And then even the game was probably more exciting of an All-Star game than we've had in a while. So, I think I wanted to bring that to the conversation to kind of start off with just kind of what you guys felt and experienced during All-Star Weekend if you participated, but then also thinking about like, why is it that, we kind of forget that Chicago's a world-class city until other folks come and tell us? I think we have this like whole mentality of like cosigns have to come from outside of us rather than within. And so I wanted to kind of get y'all's opinion about that. And I guess we can let our guest speak first because, what I'm saying, he gets the floor. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I enjoyed All-Star Weekend. I participated from a lawyer perspective.
Yeah, that's got to be different.
My clients did really well. You know what I'm saying? We covered Converse, Nike, Lululemon, Jordan. I mean, if there was a corporate check out there, my homies were getting it. So from that aspect, I was excited about that because it was one of the first times that brands were coming to us directly as opposed to having to work with like a New York or LA agency.
Yeah.
We established more connections with some of these bigger brands. They really loved how we performed. So now I can see that moving on into the future, not just for All-Star Weekend, but just brands reaching out to us more often. I didn't really go to any of the games or anything like that, but all the activations that I were at, they were amazing, top notch.
Who do you think did it right the most? Like, who do you think of all these brands? I feel like there was a party by everybody, a collaboration with everybody.
Converse to me did it the best.
Yeah.
Because they had a packed out event with no drinks.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, most of the time people just pulling up for the free drinks.
Yeah.
Converse didn't have any liquor and everybody was there. And of course they closed the night with like Roddy Ricch one night and Baby the other night. But to have that impact without giving away just free booze,
that's true. Because people tend to just hop from party to party and get wasted and then go to wherever the late night spot is. But I thought it was super cool to see from afar at least. What Joe was able to do with New Balance.
Oh, he went insane.
Like
as an individual, that man killed All-Star Weekend. Like he was hands down, he had the best weekend.
Yeah, for those who aren't familiar, I'm talking about Joe Freshgoods. and his collaboration with New Balance and Kawhi Leonard.
He had the New Balance joint, and he also had the Crown Royal.
Crown Royal, yeah.
So like he did really well for himself.
I think it's interesting how Chicago has become this space where like some of our creatives are they can move around kind of like artists, like Don C. I think people move around where they're like almost, it's like micro celebrities, but in here they are real full life, heavy hitting celebrities. I mean, I think Virgil kind of is like at the top of that pyramid, but like, I'm seeing like people who are at the crib really coming up in a way of being like, you don't have to be the artist or the person creating music anymore, or to be the athlete to kind of have a shoe or have a line or be looked at as like somebody that's important.
When Joe said he was like, I'm a fat brother with no jump shot. He's got the best sneaker out right now. I'm like, yeah, I rock with that, Joe.
Yeah, man. What did you think about AllStar Weekend?
Oh, from the outside,
sports writer.
The outside looking in, I feel like the Chicago showed out. Did a really good job. I was like, from the social media aspect, people were all over the place. It wasn't just stuff that was like downtown or in the West Loop. It was like all over the place. I like the fact that the city showed out and people came in showing love. And obviously, we hear all this stuff about the city and the gun violence and everything else. And obviously, people from outside, they tend to believe it. It's all what they see in media. But they actually came here, saw how it was, saw how it get down, and maybe they left town with their minds changed about the city.
Mm-hmm. It was dope to see the city booked, busy, and blessed.
Yeah.
The city was very active, and it was finally like a positive light being shed on Chicago, to your point, Evan. And, like I saw it from up close, but also from afar too, because, I was booked, busy, and blessed too that weekend. But actually, I'm managing an artist now, Bardo, and so we hit up the Leaders event, and that was a really dope, well done event over at Promontory on Thursday.
Yeah.
And it was just so great to see all these creatives kind of come into their own. And, like you were saying, people having shoe collaborations and people dropping their shoes. And actually, speaking of shoe collaborations, shout out to my homie Anthony Trevino. I got his Air Force Ones on right now.
Excuse me.
Yeah, got to shout out the homies.
That's what's up.
But it was just dope to see Chicago booked, busy, and blessed, as I like to say.
That's real. And I think it's apt that, like, the NBA, was kind of the cornerstone of like bringing this type of event to the city, because we know for hooping, you know what I'm saying? I feel like I think Chicago might have the largest contingent of players in the league from like one place.
Yeah.
Like not even just thinking about like, I mean, I was talking to somebody, one of my homeboys from New York, and I was trying to explain to him like it's a lot of, just the public league alone has like a lot of players in the league right now. But if you start going into like suburban players, Catholic League players, those who played in like private school leagues, whatever, like, or just even people who might have came up here and went away to some of these like basketball academy type schools that have been popping up. I think I'm seeing that become more popular. People going to places like Oak Hill and Montverde Academy, or places that where it's kind of like these schools that have been put in obscure places to kind of breed pro players. IMG Academy in Florida. We have a ton of hoopers, so it was cool to see, a lot of those guys get to kind of rep, and I haven't, and for those who may have missed the fact that like literally the city championships for the Chicago Public League happened during the weekend, so like
that needs to stay. Hopefully.
Yeah.
Did you see the setup for that?
Yeah. It was super dope, and like so you would see players from Simeon and from Morgan Park and from, Whitney Young and from some of these schools that were participating, their alumni coming back, but then also bringing other players to that event. And it kind of gave the feel of the city playoffs. Like, I don't know, it just had a more hyped up vibe. Even just them being at that court was crazy. Like, they set it up in the Armory, which normally wouldn't even be that type of situation. But Nike, did it up and really made it a very secondary event, but it almost felt like it was a part of the weekend. You know what I'm saying? There was a lot of NBA ballers rolling through those spaces. I saw Bobby Simmons up there. Obviously his son was playing for Simeon at one point. I definitely saw Jabari Parker up there. I saw a lot of like players. Like I started remembering, like, shoot, if you just look at Simeon alone, Simeon probably has like 9 guys in the
They got
league
a
right
whole
now.
squad
That's
going
one
through
high
it.
school.
Yeah,
Derrick Rose, Kendrick Nunn, Zach Norville, Taylor Horton.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
these are all just. This is one high school. You
Right,
know what I'm
right.
saying? Like, so to think about that, it just reminded me just how rich of a history we have, basketball wise. I went to a cigar event that Dominique Wilkins had downtown, and then like Isaiah Thomas was there, and like Tim Hardaway was there, and I sometimes I forget they from the crib, and just that there's this rich basketball history. So to see that kind of come together with sports entertainment and just culture, uh, really making the city look really dope. Like all my friends from New York was like, dang, like y'all kind of like a cleaner New York. Like,
I see all facts in that statement.
you know what I'm saying?
I see no lies there.
I hope
No
that
lies
these
detected.
the spaces that they did the activations in
Yeah.
are opened up to us year round, because
Word.
a lot of the places I was looking at, I'm like, wait a minute, I've never been here before. Didn't even know this large of a space was
Yep.
open to throw events in. I mean,
Yep.
they opened them up for AllStar Weekend, but I'm like, let's see if we can get these more often, because our nightlife has really died.
Yeah.
It hasn't been that big. So that this weekend, that AllStar Weekend was like, okay, this is refreshing. This is how Chicago should be on a more consistent basis.
Yeah.
So hopefully we can get back to that. Man.
Yeah, I wasn't around for like the like complex con type stuff that was going on. I think I wasn't here for over the summer, but like how was that experience? Was that
It wasn't close.
No, it was
Yeah.
not anywhere near this.
Yeah.
It was it felt like all kind of contained within the McCormick Place area.
Okay.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like, I guess I would be intrigued to see now that out of towners have come and experienced. I think there's always been kind of this stereotype of how Chicago is from afar. I would be interested to see how many like out of towners now would see Chicago as like a destination to come and like throw events and things like that. Because I think those who know, like those people who actually end up on tours or end up in spaces where they have to travel a lot, they know. But I think Chicago is kind of like a best kept secret for a lot of folks. Like, I remember Wale like having a crib here, and like I would see him
really?
at the grocery store, and I'm like, "What are you doing here?" You know what I mean?
I
Like,
live out
and he
here.
like low key, like I live out here, low
And
key.
he
You know
was
what I'm
sitting
saying?
in one of
Like,
his raps,
you know what I'm
too.
saying? Yeah, he was on the
Yeah.
low,
But
like
think
out
about
here.
it, man.
but-
Like I accidentally watched the news the other day, and
Accidentally.
and I'm like, wait a minute, this ain't the same city I live in. The first 20 minutes talking about everybody that got killed. So I
Wow.
understand the perspective of like
Yeah.
outsiders being like, yo, Chicago's super wild, but they don't understand like
It's
these are
hyper
pockets.
local.
Like,
Yeah.
It's a hyper
certain
local
areas,
space.
Certain areas, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like they're not doing this downtown. They're not doing this in the
Yeah,
West
I'm
Loop.
like,
They're
you're not
like-
even gonna see this during the weekend. I was like, you'd be lucky to even experience any of the stuff that we know as like locals and those coming up here, because there's no reason for you to go to these neighborhoods unless you got a cousin there or a family member, or like you messing with a girl who kind of just put you out of your way.
Right.
I saw some jokes online about people looking up Airbnbs and like not knowing
Yeah, that was a funny
5-minute
thing.
walk from
neighborhood.
United
You know what I'm
And you ended up on Sacramento and
You
Jackson.
know, or if you know saying something. I
Around
would,
the corner, not too far from here.
I mean, I don't know. Did it actually happen? I heard that they brought back like Adriana's for like a week for a while.
Oh,
I heard that too.
I heard they did like not
I
that,
wasn't gonna go and check
Yeah.
it out, but yeah, I heard it.
but something like that is where I could see where people would be like, oh, this is kind of what I envision Chicago to be, kind of this mixture of
right.
hood and like I'm out in the, like some might go down. This is going on till 4 a.m. because that's kind of what Adriana's used to feel like. Where
That's
you,
what things would go down at. Like, they're
Like,
not gonna front, but
you know, it's like you'll see people like Chris Brown or Lil Wayne show up to these spots, and he'd be like, "Man, they really showed up here." Like,
yeah, that's like the black
like,
youngster Yo Gotti sets
yeah.
happen out there. Like,
You know, and it's the guys in the parking lot, like, yeah, they showed up. All right, like,
Word.
I'm gonna park over
Yeah,
by that
like-
tour bus and see.
but
what,
we didn't even hear of any like
No.
crazy stories from AllStar Weekend.
No.
You know, like,
I think I think it's probably some promoters that went broke. That's what I'd be
oh, yeah,
interested
they probably
to know.
they
'Cause
probably overbooked
Yeah.
themselves and tried to pay too much for the artists.
those deposits is crazy. That having to insure these spots in many instances,
Yeah.
security, all of
People
that.
don't realize that insurance doubles once you put a rapper on the bill.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they're like, oh, you got a rapper here? Oh, we got to hire 12 more security. We got to double your policy. So it's like, yeah, man, you better throw an EDM show if you're trying to.
Prices some people out of the game. I feel like the promoters have been talking about All-Star Weekend for over a year. And so like, to see that, I'm sure there's probably some people that took a loss because we talking about corporate events. Those corporate events, that's just a
That was
drop
their
in there.
marketing budget.
That's
They
a drop in
care. They
there
don't
in
care
their
about
budget.
that.
They're just spending willy nilly. But there's individuals who always, our nightlife, like we said, it's not as vibrant as it should be. But there are guys and people who operate within it who always are doing events, and I'm sure they had to go even more above and beyond to fight to get venues that, were being taken up by these corporate spaces. And so, I would imagine that like some of those guys took a hit because they're not necessarily able to offer a crazy lineup of artists or be able to offer like free liquor for 4 hours and like all of these different things that these more glitzy, glamorous events were able to do. So I don't know, like it's always the aftermath when you start finding out the stories for real of what goes on in a city and how that hit the infrastructure. But I think it gave me kind of like a glimpse of what it possibly could have looked like if we had the Olympics. I don't know if you remember like when everybody was talking about how like
they would lose that in like 10 seconds or something. I remember waking up, they're like, "Oh, bid day coming in third, Chicago, get all out of here." I'm like,
it was like first off top. I was like, dang, it's like that. Like,
and then they were like, "Yeah, we're gonna give it to Rio," and I'm like, "Yo, they wilder than us."
And that's right when Daly was like, "Yeah, that's right. I'm up out of here. Like, I'm cool."
Like, I think we'd have done well with the Olympics.
Yeah, I do.
Especially Bronzeville.
I really do. Like, let's get back to this whole idea of Chicago being a world-class city, though, because I think it gets said a lot. But, like, and everybody up here has traveled. Like, where do you think Chicago actually fits in the landscape? Like, not even being biased, but, like, literally, like, I know for me, when I traveled, I started to appreciate Chicago differently. Mind you, it has its own character, but, like, I do think it's up there. It's definitely it should be.
I think it's a top 3 city
For real. Like literally. Yeah. I mean, what do you guys think about that?
I'm at least put. I mean, top 3. We can argue top 5 because Chicago, New York, LA, Atlanta, Miami.
Yeah.
Like, and Atlanta's getting all the hype. Miami's getting all this hype right now. But when you look at like the history of Chicago, like you said, we world class. Mm-hmm. And then that skyline, like I used to take that for granted.
Yeah.
You go out of town and people's tallest building is a hospital.
Yikes.
Like, you know what I'm saying? So now you realize, like, wait a minute, yeah, we are a step above a lot of people when it comes to it.
Literally.
Yeah. People don't realize we have beaches. I had like people from out of town like, wait, hold up, like y'all got water? Like I'm like, yeah, there's an entire lake.
Whole lake.
That we
beaches south of North Avenue.
You know what I mean? I mean, we take that for granted, though. I think, like, for real, like, just the fact that, like, that was I think about why Summertime Shy is kind of what it is. I think part of that for me and thinking about being younger is, like, you could always have a date to the lake. Like, that would be, like, the easiest, cheapest thing you could do, but it still would end up being fly. And I'm thinking, like, oh, if you grew up in, like, Austin, Texas, or some random place like that, like, you aren't able to, like, the ability to do that, I'm like, yo, like, we actually have advantages over some cities in terms of, like, our geography and just where we're strategically placed. And then even the neighborhoods, like, for the All-Star Weekend, I'm starting to see that, like, I'm like, oh, there's events happening in all of these different pockets. And like you said, there were buildings that, like, were being repurposed. That, like, I was like, oh, I didn't even realize this was here.
Yeah, like, the Jordan joint was in the Armory. Like,
over on Cottage Grove.
It's like, nobody, what do they use that for throughout the year, right?
Juke parties.
Or a Spike Lee movie. Remember when
when Chirac
was filmed there. Yeah, somebody was filming there.
I mean, I guess I'm just realizing that maybe, like, we don't see. I mean, granted, we love our city, but, like, I think sometimes we walk past spaces and don't necessarily realize that, like, the historical value of them or the ways that we can repurpose them for ways that can push things forward. So it was interesting to see, like, how many people who were attached to these agencies were like, okay, what's the square footage? Okay, whatever. Where is it? Okay, it doesn't matter. We can figure it out.
Work, yeah.
The same way I remember when USA Basketball came to 63rd and Hayes, and they just, like, built a stadium over there and, like, had the USA Basketball team playing, and I was like, whoa, like, it's an interesting thing to see your city transform in that way. I would love to see Chicago get more opportunities like that,
Mhm.
and
You think AllStar be back the next 5 years?
it should be.
I can
You
see
know,
it. Like,
should be. I think the weather kind of was weird,
Of
but
course, it's the coldest weekend that we've had all season. It fell on AllStar Weekend.
yeah, I mean, I that was the biggest complaint I heard from
Yeah.
people was like, "Yo, what's up with y'all weather? Like for
we
real?
don't like we can control that.
yeah,
Right? Like, hold on, let me check in right
Yeah.
quick. Hey, can you warm it up? Like,
Hey, turn up the heat.
You know what I'm
Hey,
saying?
G big guy. Yo, G, turn up the heat.
The
Like, thanks,
wild,
appreciate it.
the wild thing though is I think people,
Thanks, big guy.
people from the crib though, I feel like we so warped that like to us they were like, oh, it's 30. What you mean?
Well,
like we
yeah,
straight.
yeah.
like,
Especially
wearing
by
a
like
jacket.
Saturday
Like,
when they're
it's
How's it
40.
right
We
now?
straight.
Yeah, I'm not even wearing
Like,
a jacket.
it's decent outside. Like,
From
what
the
y'all
crib?
talking about?
Hey,
We
shoot.
barbecuing today.
We
Shit,
like
going to the
under
point.
under 20 is when we start like, okay, like it's kind of cold.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But anything above 20, I
It's
think
like-
most people here is like, yeah, that's part.
But then it just gave us a chance to get fits off. Like, people got those coats off, them sweaters I was sitting in. Like, I saw a lot of furs. Fur games
Yes.
going crazy.
Shaq,
man.
Yes.
Shaq went crazy with the first.
And that's
game.
unique. That's unique to the Midwest too. But Chicago, I think, has a different. I think there's a perception that that's what we be on anyway. So I saw out of towners like
Trying to
bringing
stop-
that out.
Right.
So, yeah.
Shout out to Allen Iverson because that fool was everywhere with a fur on. You know what I'm saying?
He had a fur on and a Kobe
Like-
jersey. I'm like, I
like-
respect that.
You know what I'm saying? Like there's certain players that like there's this image you have of them while they're playing, and then as you get older, you start being like, oh man, he's just another lame basketball mog like the rest of them. But AI
AI, you can tell
ain't
he's
got
cool.
that. Like he walks around like, and you can see people pay homage to him the whole time. He's sitting over there. He's more liable to be sitting over there with Fab and Jada than to be sitting with like the other hoopers. You
Right,
know what I'm
right.
saying? So it was just interesting to see how there's like a pecking order amongst like hoopers in terms of who. It's like because they all in the league, so you'll see them come up to the door and you see who moves out the way for certain people.
Right,
And AI was for sure one of those people that I saw at events where it was like, oh, AI's here. Like they'll stop talking to some NBA dude like, oh, AI's here. You know what I'm saying? Like it was a sight to see for real.
Saw that man Scottie Pippen out here.
Oh shoot,
Yeah.
Scotty,
Well,
no
All-Star
tip,
Weekend-
Scotty, no
All-Star
tip,
Weekend
Pip.
started on Tuesday for him. Every
No.
place I popped up, Scotty was there. I'm like, okay.
But shit, damn, look who.
Hey,
Motherfuckers done came in.
Sorry, I'm on.
Sit right here, man.
We
Sorry,
got.
I'm on.
Like, we
I
got.
ain't gonna say color people because I know a lot of black people be on time.
You know what I'm
for stuff.
saying? We got
broke people be late.
our second guest in the building, Leon Rogers. I don't even know how to introduce you other than to say you're a
Man,
Chicago legend.
shit.
You know what I'm
Nah,
saying?
I'm just a Chicago guy that happened to get on the radio, man.
Hey,
and,
man.
and I like keeping a job, man. I don't look at myself as no legend or nothing, bro. It's
That's
just
real.
just represent the city and to the best of my ability. I just want cats here to be proud of me. Or, you know, people when they see me be like, yo, he represent the city well, like myself, D-Ray, Rail, like all the
of that,
guys
brother.
from there.
You
Man.
can hold it down for us.
You
Yeah.
doing it, bro? Because I'm
Yeah.
saying, like, just coming from my standpoint, coming up in Chicago, you are one of the people who I associate with the city, like
No
as a
doubt.
representative, as an ambassador, and so you know, we are blessed to have you on the Go Defenders because you defend the Go.
That's what I
So,
and that's
you know
all
what I'm
that's all
saying?
I ever want, man. You know what I'm saying? I can have all the money and stuff in the world, but if I ain't had the respect of my guys and women that live out here, like what
That's
good
real.
is it? You know, so that's my thing, man. It just always be when they see him, they be like, hey man, that's 312-773-708 right there.
That's
All
real.
day.
So we were sitting here talking about the AllStar game shit.
Yeah.
So, what was your take on the festivities and how it went down?
Man, I worked the whole weekend. So
I already know.
I was under the Hustle Act. I worked for
Uh-huh.
NBA. I actually was working for the NBA. We did the NBA crossover event at Navy Pier. It was a beautiful experience. I'ma just be 100, man.
Let's
I was
go.
glad my city was cool.
Right.
The only thing I was worried about was some of my youngins getting out here
Jumping
acting up.
Yeah.
But they didn't, man. It was love. It was sweet. Only thing people had to complain about was it was cold.
Right.
But hey, it's Chicago in February, so you know, hold that. You know what I'm saying?
Basically.
But the parties were dope. I went to several events.
Uh-huh.
I hosted a couple of events at like Vu, and my man Kyle had some events. Tone Capone had some events.
Mm-hmm.
All events were beautiful. The vibe was dope.
Yup.
Navy Pier was dope. And then to top it off, that game.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? The changing of the rules, I think they should keep it like that, NBA. You know what I'm saying? Not that
Real
I'm
talk.
anybody that matter, but I think they should keep the rules like that. The game was competitive all the way throughout. You know what I'm saying? Now, the only thing I would change is you can't win it on the free throw.
Yeah,
Nah.
you gotta
You
win.
got to win by two. Like, you know what I'm talking about?
You gotta win on the bucket. Like,
Can't win it on the free throw. But other than that, man, beautiful weekend. Like I said, I was just happy my city. People saw the beautiful side of Chicago,
Right.
the true flavor of Chicago, the people. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of my guys that do comedy and stuff, Talent, for example, he was in town. He called me, say, "Little bruh, I ain't gotta strap up with my bulletproof vest and bring my Draco, do I?" was like,
Come
nah,
on,
man.
nah,
So
man.
sometimes I get a little offended by that shit. You know what I'm saying?
No, it's for real. No, you good.
I get a little offended by it because
You
I'm
good.
like, listen, man, I can go to any city in this country and find some trouble.
Yeah.
Yep.
If I want to go to a
Yep.
spot, I've done shows in Utah, and
It's
it's
there
a
if you
dude
wanna
out there
find it.
tell you where to go get some weed or whatever
All
you
of that.
want,
All of
right? So when people get this whole thing, when this narrative gets pushed about my city that it's just a bunch of lawless cats out here
Right.
gunning down people in every neighborhood, it's like, nah. Do we have an issue? Absolutely. Where are those issues though? And the places where the powers that be, the government, don't put money in to help those areas get better.
Under resourced.
You know what I'm saying? Meanwhile, ain't shit happening in Logan Square. Ain't nothing happening downtown.
West
Or the places
Loop.
where they gonna make money.
River North.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And what was we telling tourists? Don't take your ass past Hyde Park.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Go past the low end to Hyde Park. That's where you stop. Don't go further south than that, because then
If
you
you
might
don't know
be
what you're
asking
doing.
for trouble. You don't
You
know
don't
the
know
lay
what
of
you
the land.
navigate.
Out there that can,
Unless you got
Unless you got a tour guide. You got a tour guide.
You
Yeah.
want to see some action? I mean, you
Yeah,
want to
so
be
you
active.
know, you see what they doing. You see what they do to us. Like even in the suburbs, man, my brothers and sisters in Harvey that own small bars
Yep.
and stuff.
And they just reversed
Telling
that
them they
ordinance,
can't-
the liquor ordinance out
Right,
there.
right. That they can't sell liquor after
Yeah. Midnight.
midnight.
Yeah.
What club? You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So the small business owner is getting pushed out.
Mm-hmm.
If he or she can't do day parties during the day, they're getting pushed out. But meanwhile, the mayor says, well, I'm doing what's right for the people.
Mm.
But if you killing the people that work there, you know, I don't know, you know, maybe spend some more resources into having more police officers on deck. How about that? Or stop being crooked. For so long, you know, people were stealing and stuff from out there. All the resources is gone. But I hate that label that Chicago we get like, oh, never been voted murder capital.
No.
Right.
For all this killing that be going on here, never been voted murder capital. I always used to believe it was an agenda to smear my man when he was in office. You know, Barack, to make him look crazy.
Yeah.
You said that,
You know what I'm saying?
And they heightened all of that too.
Yeah, to make it like he can't even take care of his own city. And then, you know, to let 45 try to look like a savior, like he doing something. I never say his name.
Yeah.
He's like the dude off
Buddy.
Harry Potter.
Buddy
I
ass.
can't-
How we say it?
His name, they say he's who,
Buddy ass.
Voldemort. He whose name shall not be said. I
He's
can't
like,
say his name. I
yeah,
just call him
buddy
40
ass. Buddy
45.
ass.
45. So, I mean, I was just glad the city showed up, showed out, and the promoters was cool. I think it was one minor incident at
Yeah.
Joe's. A few knuckleheads got
Yeah, I
into
heard
it.
about that.
But for the most part, man, stuff went smooth, man. And a lot of the artists gave high praises to Chicago. No,
Yeah.
Ludacris gave high praises. The Migos, like Quavo and them, they was talking at the celebrity game. They were like, man, we been having a ball out here.
Right.
So
Even
that's
the
love.
players like Harden
Yeah.
said something.
Man, well, you know, James be down here a lot.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
He
was
knows,
in the
so he
mix,
know
but
what
he
it
knows
is.
good.
Yeah.
So that was the thing, though. That's kind of what we were just mentioning before you got in here. It's like, okay, like, how do we change this narrative to where we can get to? Because everybody in here has traveled quite a bit, right? And so, Chicago, to me, you know, even having been to like all the countries and even just within the United States, all the cities and states and all that shit we've been to.
One of the
like,
best cities in the world.
Yeah, it's a world class city. Like
Yeah,
easily, we were talking about like how like there's no way you come here really experience it for what it is and not walk away saying like this is a world class city. Top like where you rank it, where you place it is up to you.
I tell everybody, summertime in Chicago,
Hands down, bro.
got a little bit of paper. You don't need a lot.
Nope.
Man, you get out there on that lakefront.
We're just saying
He
it. Just saying that.
Get out there on
that's
that
his
lakefront.
thing. Just-
31st Street Beach, my girl Nikki with the pill over there,
yep,
man.
Yep.
Get you some house
Live
music,
music
get some
going.
vibes, live
Mhm.
music downtown, the Bean, move around on Michigan Mile. Hyde Park, Bronzeville,
All of
popping. You know, you can go up north if you want to get your hipster on. Different cultures, food,
Mm-hmm.
everything up
We
north.
got
You know?
like the best food. Man.
Bruh, hands down, we're the best. So I just came back from Vegas. Me and my wife, we was hanging out, and we went to Wolfgang Puck's Cut
Mm-hmm.
out in the Venetian,
Mm-hmm.
and he was there.
Word.
So he's like, "How y'all love the food?" He's like, "Where y'all from?" Chicago. He's like, "Oh my gosh, Chicago! There's so many brilliant chefs there. I think
Yeah.
you guys like 3 or 4 Michelin award winners
Yep.
there." And to see this dude, who like a OG,
Right.
it's like you talking to Bi, a chefs, Wolfgang Puck.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If this is the rap game, and it's Jay.
Yep.
Right.
Like, and he like,
I
He
come
big
out
like
there
Yo.
from time to time to see what's
man,
going
he
on.
said, man, I love it when I
Like,
come to Chicago. Guy Fieri, when he was here
Mm-hmm.
for the celebrity game, he's like, man, let me tell you something. Best food, hands down. He said, I'm a SoCal guy. He said, I'm a Bay Area guy, but y'all do it out here with the food.
And you're not priced out the game.
And it's so
You're not
crazy.
priced out the game.
This is what drives me crazy about it, though. We're such a segregated city.
Yeah.
But low key, that segregation gives us some of the best food ever.
Yeah,
'Cause
it
you gotta go
does.
to Greek Town.
It does.
You gotta go to Little Mexico. You gotta go, you gotta
Yeah.
go to Chinatown. But you
Chinatown.
like, damn, they don't want me over here, but I'm
But-
gonna come grab some of this Peking duck.
Uber Eats. Uber Eats like a motherfucker. Be like,
They
hey.
looking at me crazy while I order this shit, but I'm gonna eat this
Hell yeah.
sweet dumpling
I
chicken
be
or whatever
like,
this shit is.
be on my phone
Man, I'm
ordering
finna
that
slide
stuff.
over here to Bridgeport, grab me some Irish stew.
Call ahead.
Yeah, I'm gonna call ahead. Be ready. When I get out, I'm grabbing and getting right back in my car. But you know, that's the sad thing about it. The city's so segregated, but it's
Right.
great food, great eat. Summertime, man. You know, like I said, the only thing you complain about Chicago in the winter is the cold.
Yeah.
But what do you expect? We're in the heart of the Midwest.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? New Yorkers, I be laughing when New Yorkers come here. They be like, yo, it's cold out here, son.
Yeah, man.
I'm like, what?
Whatever.
You live
bro.
off
Steak out there.
Yeah.
No, but that lake water.
That wind, the wind,
Hey,
man,
well,
the
you know.
wind.
But yeah, you got a little money in Chicago, man. And there's always something to do.
Yes, it
you
is.
just gotta know where to look. You gotta
Yep.
know the websites to go to. There's always something popping. Like, I ain't never heard nobody had no food truck festival.
Yeah, that's real though.
I travel a lot.
Yeah.
I've never seen a food truck festival except here. And food trucks everywhere.
Yeah.
Right.
Now maybe if somebody put me on in another
Nah.
city, but I've
Nah.
never seen
They
a
might
city.
have one in like Des Moines.
Oh,
The only time,
yeah,
I think the only time I see something even slightly like kind of like what we got going on in that space is like Austin, Texas. I know they got a bunch of like food
Yeah, but that be
trucks.
That's
like
a college
that be
town.
like during
Ways.
South by.
Right, and
Right,
even
South by
or-
Southwest.
but even
Yeah.
going to the Bay, like being at Berkeley and like that area, Silicon Valley, they got a lot of food trucks out there because all the startups are out there. But like the way Chicago does things is still
They
different.
block off a fucking
It's
street.
different.
They
We got a
take
lot of
Randolph,
festivals.
block that shit
Yeah.
off.
How many festivals do we have
Man,
though?
It's
Lollapalooza.
more like every other weekend.
We got we have like a calendar of festivals.
And we
You know what
not
I'm
gonna talk. That's talking about, you know. And excuse my French because I don't know.
Nah,
who
you
watches.
straight. No, you straight.
That's just talking about what the white folks do.
Right.
If we had a calendar for all the shit we got cracking,
Yeah.
man, my boy came down here, did Silver Room Block Party, lost
Right.
his mind.
Brew Fest.
I said Brew Fest.
House picnic.
House-
Like,
the chosen
I
few.
don't know.
Chosen
You
few.
don't realize you don't
All
see that many
Uh-huh.
black people
Watch the
congregating
party.
together.
Yeah.
Like when you go to Silver and Block Party, you don't see that anywhere in the world.
No,
Like,
not
that
even
many-
Atlanta. Not
that
even
many
like,
black people together,
Yeah.
full time, like,
Yeah.
come
Bruh.
on, bro.
And you see everybody you know from elementary
everywhere.
school. To
I mean,
like,
you can't trick
I was
off.
like,
You
Yeah.
can't trick off at the
Yeah.
Silver Room Block Party because you're
Nah.
gonna get caught.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
You gonna
yeah.
get. I know it's crowded out there, but you
Don't pull up with
It's like,
any
you don't
side
know,
anything.
cool. It's like, oh, all right, we
Right, exactly. We gonna get it.
it.
I'm gonna get into that because that's actually something I want to discuss before you get out of here. Because real talk, like I'm in the middle. You know how this goes now. You just got engaged too.
Yeah, yes, sir.
Like, how have
Shout
you
out
been
Chelsea
able to?
Carter.
This guy,
Smart man.
this guy, this guy.
Motherfucker know where his bread
Nothing
butter.
happened,
Ain't crazy. Shit.
But G, like, how you've been moving around the city for a long time.
Yes.
You go to a lot of events. I'm
Yes.
talking about when I caught you and your wife at Dorian's once.
Yeah.
Y'all was having a ball, bro.
Yeah.
Like, so how do you maneuver through this city, all it has to offer, and keep shit?
Well, let's
shit
just get down to the
peachy.
nitty gritty. You know me a long time. I
Man,
don't pull
100.
no punches.
I want to know
Shit
because I
ain't
don't
never
know
been-
what I'm in for.
It ain't never.
Like-
It's never easy.
Yeah.
It's never been easy, and you know, I was a fucked up husband for about 4 or 5 years, bro.
Real talk.
I just be honest, man. You know, this being on the radio, like
Hell yeah.
it wasn't that I couldn't handle the workload. I couldn't. I love the money that's coming in. That didn't control me.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes fame can fuck your head up.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? I was always a guy in school who made everybody laugh. We whopped the bam. You know, if I did slide my way into some vaginas because of the jokes.
Fair.
Now you take that, I get older. You know, you get your swag up. Now you're making money to do it. Now it's like, oh, I don't have to work this hard.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, oh, you want to go to Big J?
Because it's on me.
Like,
You want to go? Oh, you want to go see the baby and the little baby? What y'all trying to do? You know what I'm saying? And it gets to the point, really, for me, when man, bro, I was just lightweight disrespectful. You know what I'm
Real.
saying? It's like, what's up? What you on? and the thing about it is, like, I don't want to hear that shit that all men lie to women to get what they want. That's bullshit. Because me doing what I did, everybody knew I was married.
That's
Said
real.
on the radio, I
It's-
knew it. I talked about my kids, my wife all the time.
It's
But
a
then
whole-
when
it's a
I'm in,
part of the
I'm
whole
in their
situation.
face, like, man, what's going on? What's happening? What you
None of
And
that
they
matters.
don't
you
even
trying to
matter.
do?
Good.
Ain't you, man? Okay. What are you trying to do?
Yeah.
And it got to the point, man. So it took for me to almost lose my family. You know what I'm
Word.
saying? We got to a real bad space.
And it turned around.
Nah. Because fuck, we men.
Of course.
We dumb, guy. I got to try that again and see was that shit really.
Is that the boundary
Did
or
you
is this the
really,
boundary?
Were you playing?
like,
serious,
no,
bro.
it's real. It's 100.
And so, you know, I'm not gonna sit up here and say I acted right because of the kids and all that shit, dog. It's just at the end of the day, I had something that gave me clarity and made me see that is the one person in this world other than my mother, God bless her soul, because she's a saint to me,
Yeah.
that if I got paralyzed tomorrow, I'll wipe my ass.
Right.
There it is. That's how I
And
break
that's
it down
just
to
flat.
the lowest form, G.
Right.
So,
Like
yeah.
that woman, Nicole Rogers, if I couldn't walk or talk tomorrow,
She
but
there.
I could still have eye contact with her, she would keep me alive.
Mm.
Because that's how much she cares about me. So once I finally figured that out, which, you know, took me too long, because we take shit for granted,
Of
man. You
course.
got a girl, you know, you figure you got kids together. We got 3 daughters. You know what I'm saying?
You locked in.
I ain't going nowhere. You know, you get comfortable. And I mean, it's a two-way thing, too, you know what I'm saying? But
Mhm.
it's not my place to tell her story.
Right.
I can only tell from my
Right.
end what I was on and how that affected her.
Chill.
You know what I'm saying? Now, she could talk about where maybe some ways she lacked as far as me, but that still wasn't no excuse for me to doing what I was doing. I was doing what I was doing because it was like,
Because it's
nigga,
there.
I'm up on Rogers, 107.5 What's happening? You know what I'm saying? Comedy. Oh, you was on BT. You know,
All
tried
of that
everything.
shit.
I was like, okay, I'm gonna stop messing with people in the city because you'll get caught up.
Yeah.
You grab something out of town, and it's like
Still the same.
when God catches you up in Martha's Vineyard.
Oh,
Like,
shit. Damn.
Not
Up
saying
there?
that happened, but I'm just saying,
Just
like,
a
just
random-
pick a place like that,
And that's as
and
random
one of
as
your
it
wife's
gets.
friends is there.
And it happens to
Yes, some
Right.
crazy shit.
And you
Hey,
just like,
Leon,
and it's like,
who's
why are you?
this?
Yeah, just
what the fuck?
yeah.
I'm in Maine.
Like,
If you don't get them signs, bro, like, and I really had to be like, God damn, dog, I got caught up in the most
randomest spot.
crazy fucking spot at the most craziest time of the day where I know, but hey, it is what it is. So, you
now
know,
you're looking at
you
like,
you
it ain't even
change,
worth it.
and you know, and if you and like I said, I mean, we all men sitting in here talking, and it's a young lady in the room, but like I would tell my daughters, I don't think I'm a bad guy.
No.
I don't think a lot of guys when they do dumb shit like that, they bad guys. It's just the innate nature of like women, they like, I'm into a female mind and shit too, but let's be honest, fam.
Yeah.
When the lady of your dreams parade by, you like, yeah. I knew when I first saw my wife, I said, I'm gonna put some babies in her. You know what I'm saying?
That's real.
1996, TNT Comedy Hook out in Lansing. When I first met her, I was
This
like,
nigga got it all the way down to the.
no, bro.
to
I
the
mean,
T.
because that's what I felt. But at the same time, I was just coming into my own on this comedy shit.
It was still a journey
So
to be
maybe
had.
who's to say if I had met her after I got 7 or 8 years in doing this comedy shit, I probably would have been a little different. Or I might not even check for her because I was moving around. But I met her at the beginning of my career. So she's been there for every
whole art.
highlight, every accolade, every failure. She's been there.
Yeah.
And when you go back after you do your dumb shit and you sit and look at that track record, you're like, what the fuck am I doing? I could have had a chick. Literally, when I say I was going on the road 5 to 6 days a week, right? I could have had a chick and I'm putting money in the bank.
Yeah.
Who wiped the bath? I could have came home to nothing. I got some horror stories of cats that came home, girl picked up, left, drained the account, 20, 25,000, couldn't find them.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Till they wanted to be found. I didn't have that though.
Even
all the nut shit I was doing, she like,
held
yo,
it down.
bro. And she's telling me, she said, hey.
You out here tripping, my G.
I know. I'm like, I'm going to just get slicker. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. She's like, no, motherfucker, say, nah. Don't get slicker. Stop.
Just get it right.
Just stop. I don't ask too much. I'm not a Louis Vuitton bag chick. I don't do that. Just, yo, I like you, but you gonna make me hate you. And when I hate you, it's over.
Yeah.
She said, you're gonna make me dislike you. And the day she told me that, and in another conversation, she said, would you let your daughters date you? If a guy came in here right now, I was like, fucking me all up. You know what I'm saying? Like, women just got a way of saying certain shit to you that you just be like,
you right.
I got it.
And then your face was just like that. You be like, all right,
like,
you right.
Like,
what we say, Boosie had said on there, he's like, damn. I fucked up, y'all.
Yeah.
I did some whole shit.
That's how you feel. But one thing I've been always thankful for about my wife, we've always been a unified front to everybody else. We've been in comedy shows together, man. We had just got finished. She had just got finished cussing me the fuck out. But she came to support me.
Yeah.
And when people saw us, shit, we probably was into it that night you saw us at the Dorian. You ain't gonna know that. You understand what I'm saying? Ain't nobody out here gonna know that because if people see us chinks in your armor, trust me. You know what I'm saying?
They gonna test them out.
Caston took their shots, you know what I'm saying? I know on record, like homies of mine, who I thought was homies. You know what I'm saying? Comics, you know what I'm saying? Because they thought.
Because they heard rumblings.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Or maybe I voiced something. Because I don't talk to everybody.
That's real.
You know what I mean? You know, Damon Williams, Tony Schofield, them like my big brothers, my mentors. You know, and they might have overheard me. Oh, word. Let me test the waters. Let me see if she gonna break.
Yeah.
Never broke. Solid.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It's real. That's very real.
It is. But I thank God for her every day, man. She make my life easier.
Right.
Even though I made her life hard for a couple of years. But, you know, now that I sit back and reflect on it as a 48-year-old male will be 18 years in September.
That's real.
3 beautiful daughters. That ain't. I'm just glad my daughters ain't out here dick hustling. I don't even care if you get C's in school. Just don't bring home no D's. Please don't bring home no D's, man. No D's. You just bring all the B's and C's you want. No D's. I don't even want that word coming out your mouth. I got a 20-year-old, 15-year-old, and a 7-year-old. And I'm just glad they good girls.
Good people in general.
They oblivious to shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? They don't know what, you know, the bop. They the nerds at their cousin's party. The way they standing on the wall looking. They're like, come on, you don't know how to do the bop. There's like, then they look at me. I was like, you know the rule. No movement from the waist down till you got your own place. Well, mama be doing that. Well, it's a payoff with your mama. Nah, man, I just, you know, I love my wife. I've always loved her.
Of course.
But I never, sometimes I didn't show a good sign of being in love with her. You know what I'm saying? I loved her, but wanted to be out here on bullshit.
That appreciation.
Yeah, that's all it is, bro. Like, That's all it is.
Man.
Because that unified front thing is real. Because even with me and my lady, I would say she's a little bit more famous than me.
Mm-hmm.
So we have to make sure when we outside that
motherfuckers know.
Yeah, this is a unit right here. This ain't two people. So we might, like you said, we might have just been arguing on the ride over here, but as soon as we stepped out the car,
bam,
we chilling.
Yeah. And people can call it you fronting up. No, we're not. We understand as a couple. You understand the pitfalls of the shit out around you.
You right.
Everybody don't have your relationship in their best interest, man.
Nope.
No,
come on, bro. You know that, man. There's big cats sitting in there waiting for you to.
My cousin
Eddie and Chelsea the other day, man. They look like they a little rocky right now.
Yeah.
Man. It was a little arguing. I think it's over for them.
You did? Right. I'm gonna catch you out here one day and see what happens.
That's the ill thing, though. Is like you gotta watch. Kind of piggybacking off what your point was saying is like, yo, guys, I got a homie right now going through it. I'm not even gonna mention his name, but like, the homies see you doing what you doing, and so they like, well, shoot, I gotta still be in your woman face. Like, you cool, but I'm watching you do what you do. So they like, oh, so bet if one night she out, I'm like, it's crazy how that go. But mine used to be like, yo, you know what your man out here doing.
My real friends, when I used to come complaining, man, my wife don't do this, blah, 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 they say, well, my real guys, my lifelong guys is like, hey, bro, I ain't gonna lie, I'm always bros before hoes, but you done had you a good 4-5 year run, man. Yeah. So if she fed up, you can't be mad at her, bro. You had a great run.
Yeah.
And I've been, they'll be like, and I've been privy to be a part of some of the magic. But, remember Atlanta 2012, bro? You turned up.
Yeah.
So now, if she upset at you, you gotta hold that, man. Yeah. Or you either gotta stop doing what the fuck you doing. Because I like y'all together. That's my girl. Yeah, but at the same time, you my man. and it be hot. My one guy, he said I don't come around. But he said he didn't come around when I was on bullshit because he said I ain't want to lie. Your wife too cool, man. Yeah. I don't want her mad at me. I want to my cousin.
That's
100. He used to feel so bad, man, because my wife used to be like, yeah, you his enabler. And he was like, but he couldn't say shit because he was.
He was like, man.
But he was like, he said, cuz you got to stop hanging with me. Because I don't want her mad at me. I like Nicole. So it is what
single homie be like, hey, man, you tripping out here. It ain't
really
that,
move around.
It ain't that fun out here, bro.
You just kissed her in her mouth.
Yeah.
This from Instagram and Facebook.
Yeah. Instagram popping now. You can't get away with that type of shit no more. Like it's interesting. You talked about like the United Front, Eddie, and it's like I think I spoke about this on another one of our episodes of how like it's almost like you're a union and it's spoken, figuratively, but literally you are a union and you kind of have to speak about it in terms of like, it's a business, so to speak, and you can't fuck up the church's money off of just some outside bullshit that is very temporary or momentary, and even that's even with like looking at social media and comments and likes and you like this, double tap that. You can't let those chinks in the armor show. You got to be able to maintain and kind of uphold some level of boundaries and standards of like, okay, we not gonna be mad at each other at the end of the day.
Don't go to bed mad.
Yeah.
Her big thing is like, don't embarrass me. Don't embarrass me out here in front of these people.
Yeah.
We might do it, but don't embarrass me. Like, you remember that. You take that out because my mom's was the same way. Like, we going into this store, don't embarrass me in this store. And I knew how she turned up when I did, so I just took that same mentality. Like, all right, I gotta respect that because you don't get that often from people.
Bro, you sound like a broken record. My old lady used to be like, I ain't even mad that you did what you did. I'm mad that you ain't even got the motherfucking respect to move in silence.
Yeah.
Like, you was just out here.
Right.
And motherfuckers coming. She's a makeup artist. My wife does makeup, so she's like, I could just be working somewhere, and I heard, excuse my language, a bitch say your name. They don't know, like, they didn't know who I was.
Right.
But I'm like,
just listening. They ain't even go crazy.
Up. And I was like, she said, now imagine you sitting in a barber shop, and And motherfuckers like, yo, I'm at this bad motherfucker. Look at this picture. Look at these pictures. And you come over there and it's me.
You be all types of hurt.
You can't. It's a catch-22 because you can't get up and loud and say, "Hey, motherfucker, that's my wife," because you look like the goofy.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Hate the game, not the player.
Like,
But then at the same time, it's burning you up inside. You know, I'm gonna kill him. I'm gonna choke the shit out of him. I don't care who over at the house.
To saying all that, like, so we have both of you here and both of you married and about to be married and everything else. How what would you say to folks watching this who they're creatives and like, you know, it may be a thing where their personal relationships and their career like maybe going in different directions. Like, what would you like that?
For me, you're gonna have to, you know, like I said, marriage is not easy. Being in relationships are not easy. There has to be compromise between both of you all, and sometimes it might come down to you just might have to make an honest decision. You know, can you deal with what I do? You know what I'm saying? Now, there's a difference. You understand, like, I know guys that's party promoters. You know what I'm saying? True story. One time, me and my wife used to go through this. I used to tell her, no, I didn't want her going with me to certain shows. But because I had been on so much bullshit, she took that as, you trying to get out here to see your hoe.
Right.
But I was like, no, I really don't want you on 63rd and Damon with me.
Yeah.
Right.
Because I know how the cats is over there. Yeah. You're an attractive woman, and you don't take no shit. So first time somebody say or do something disrespectful, you gonna say something, and I gotta fight all the moles over there. You know what I'm saying? I ain't trying to die or both of us be in the hospital. But because of my track record, it comes off as like I'm trying to keep you in the house.
Yeah.
So I can go out here and be free, when that really wasn't even the case. So it had to come to a point for my wife where she'd be like, this is what he do. This is what he was doing when you met him. You know what I'm saying? It's like guys that date a stripper and then 5 years later try to make her change. You can't, bro. That's where you met her. That's what turned you on. All you can hope is that she's literally just going there dancing and making money and coming home. And she coming home to you and giving you the bag. You know, y'all sharing and y'all building together. And so once my wife got over that, then, you know, she was just like, oh, you just a fucking idiot. You know what I'm saying? It's not me. It's not me. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Because you doubt yourself. You know what I'm saying? When somebody you doubt yourself. And my wife did. She told me, she said, I doubted myself for a long time. Thought I wasn't good enough. But I'm like, nah, it ain't me. It's you. You the goofball. Okay. So, like, keep playing. Like, you know what I'm saying? Shit ain't forever. You know what I'm saying? She made a statement that stuck with me, that resonates with me. I don't know if somebody else already said it or some shit she came up. She said, everybody love to play the game until it's two-player. I said, damn. That's kind of strong. That's like a rap bar. My mind started wondering. I said, so when she said that, I said, well, what the fuck you mean by that? What you saying? You in the game now? She said, I'm not. I'm not in the game. She said, that ain't me. I ain't got time for that shit. I'll just leave your ass alone. But she was like, it's always fun till you put the shit on two-player. Just think about that.
Yeah.
I was like,
that's wild.
I don't get no domestic out here. Because you start your mind. You know, when women say slick, because I put that in my jokes. When women stop caring, like when it's 2 a.m, she stop asking you where you been.
It's something to think about.
And she's sleeping peacefully.
Yeah.
She don't wake up when you come in. No, she sleep. She was like, hey, how was club? Oh, you ain't mad? I mean, she gone. She didn't detach.
Mentally already tapped out of
it. Detached. Once Rob said it best, even though, you know, his was dealing with calculus in junior year of high school. So the woman fed up. There ain't nothing you can do about it. You know what I'm saying? It ain't. It ain't, man. My wife was like, I almost got there with you, bro.
Yeah.
Like, I literally was like, okay. I knew where you was at. I knew where you was going. You know what I'm saying? How you know? Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it.
I knew. Like, damn. doing my codes. I do sports athletes. She don't know shit about that. My phone code is Walter Payton Barry Sanders, 3420. I said, do this motherfucker know somebody at AT&T? You just start thinking.
Yeah.
And then like,
it's lucky all over your face.
no.
They read all that.
Yeah. And when I finally got to the point where I got off bullshit, dog, just life was so much easier, dog. I wasn't stressed because I wasn't juggling nobody. I was saving money. I wasn't going out.
Right.
Gas. You driving around. No, like we laughing, but literally, dog.
Your work productivity probably increased too.
Because I was stress free.
Yeah.
I wasn't trying to hide shit. I wasn't looking to see what time was she gonna be on, because her being a makeup artist, she might be on set. Okay.
Yeah.
About the bam, have my oldest daughter,
managing.
Man, even relationship with the kids got better.
That's
you know what I'm saying? So it affects all the way around for people that think it don't, But it just took me. I hope don't nobody else take that long. It took me a minute. I just had a good one. You know what I'm saying? I could have had a motherfucker like, I'm straight, I'm done. Go ahead, run this for that child support, and I'm gonna need that spousal support at $720 a month because that's the max in Illinois.
Mm-hmm.
And but I didn't. She was like, okay, you dumbass, you gotta grow up.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna let you play, get all the shit out your system. You know what I'm saying? But we cool now. You know what I'm saying?
That's a buck.
We cool. That's it's always been my best friend, but at one point in time we was our worst enemies.
Yeah, so like me and my lady, it's kind of, even though we are a unit, we have two separate lives.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? I got stuff going on.
And
she
I see
has
that.
stuff going on.
Yeah.
So I think that's super important. Like, we'll pull up to a gig, to a party, and I might not see her for the most of the party. She going for her girls, and with my homies, we chilling.
Mm-hmm.
Are you ready to go? I'm ready to go. We link up. We out of here.
That's dope.
So I think that's important because, like, we're not all over each other at every situation.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, the other day I went to the Griselda joint. So she's sitting there, she's like, where you going? I'm like, I'm going to Griselda. So she's like,
yeah, right.
Yeah, that's that hip hop.
I was saying that too when I was
listen.
It ain't like she's like, I'm gonna sit this one out.
Yo,
like,
and my wife the same way. She be like, I know that's that shit you be listening.
Yeah.
Same way she be like, I know you don't want to go see Tank. You right.
You
right.
got that.
I got you.
Now I compromise.
You can have that.
Walker in town.
Boom.
We both at that.
We go see Kim together.
Yeah.
We go BBD in
I just
town.
pulled the Raphael Sadiq with this here. I just went to that. You know
I'm not going to see them motherfucker take his shirt off. Tank my man. Shout out to Tank, good brother. But I'm not going to watch him sing to y'all.
Yeah. That's almost like smoking cigars. My woman is like, yo, just do. At first she would be like, I want to just come and see what y'all be doing. Then after a while she was just like, no, I'm cool. I'm straight.
My old lady, she'll puff a cigar. She
summertime she'll do it.
And I'm getting her in the golf. We're in the golf.
That's
now,
dope.
So we go golfing together. But the Griselda, like as soon as you said it, I was like, ooh, I was so mad. But we was in Vegas this weekend, so and she was like, I was like, well, I want to go see a show. So she was looking at the Christina Aguilera billboard. I said, you got me fucked up. I love you. We out here doing it. But
I'll go to Cirque du Soleil before I go see.
And that's why I said we go see the Michael Jackson one. We could see the Michael Jackson one. We could go see the Beatles joint. Right. I'm not going to see no Christina Aguilera.
He said, no,
cool. I got to draw the line. She was like, I know. I was just trying to see where you going. Yeah, you tried it, but I'm not going to see that shit.
Yeah, no.
But yeah, it's super important. Y'all gotta have your own things that y'all do.
Yeah, I can't miss you if you're always around.
Yeah, man. If all he does is whatever that person likes, you're gonna be annoyed by that person after a while. Like,
right.
Where you want to go? Wherever you want to go, baby. Like, nah. I want you to
have your own spaces and have your own. You know what I'm saying?
I think now I think our kids kind of hate that me and my wife back to super
on
cool
an accord and shit.
Motherfuckers don't do nothing with us. Like we went to Vegas this weekend. My oldest daughter was like, "When y'all coming back?" I was like, "I don't know. We might not never come back."
You 20,
you got the crib.
Yeah, you straight.
Fall now. We'll keep paying the bills. We just gonna live the life. We just gonna ride around. So the youngest one, the baby girl, always break down to mama. She was like, "Well, we haven't done any fun things." I'm like, they be sucking you, G.
Yeah.
I say the moms do fun shit every day. They alive and they get to eat and they get to eat and all that shit in the house. That's the fun.
You sound like my dad. He would just point to shit in the crib like, You got that bookshelf right here. You like that bookshelf, right? I'm like, well, I don't care about the bookshelf. I'm trying to go to McDonald's, G.
Yeah, I'm looking wild.
Yeah, that's me.
See, that
Jack.
fireplace
That's
don't pay
me.
for itself.
What
Look at this paint on this wall.
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
See this paint on this wall? Huh?
But
That's
nah,
a fresh coat of white paint.
Shorty
Now,
can't
you
eat
wanna
no
have
books,
some-
dog.
You want to have some fun? Put another fresh coat on there. Let's paint time. Paint time.
Get into them books.
Yeah. Oh no, me. They know when they come to me. I ain't gonna tell you. Their mama to do the study thing.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put you to manual labor. When you say you bored and you ain't got shit to do, I say don't ever say that around me because there's weeds outside, snow,
Damn.
tuck pointing. There's a whole lot of shit you can learn at this house. You ever change oil? Come on out here. I'm about to show you how to do it. It's like, why is a 7-year-old underneath the car?
Never know.
Never know. Because I'm
Self-sufficiency.
raising girls. I'm raising girls.
Self-sufficiency.
They
Right.
might not ever get married.
That's real.
You gotta be able to, but nah, man. I think yeah, you definitely right. You gotta have your own lanes, your own. My wife know I'm downstairs in the basement for an hour and a half, and I got the Griselda bumping. Don't come down there, cause I'm either on the tables or I'm on Madden,
Right.
fucking up one of the homies out of town, and I'm locked in. If I'm down there for 2 to 3 hours, I mean I lost the first game.
And I gotta run it back. Gotta run it back.
I got dog walking. I'm like, oh.
I done lost the 2 game. Kane gave me 4. Go in the bedroom. She's like, what's wrong? She said, streaming. I'm like,
Go
man, I can't tell her I just lost
A
a
video
video
game.
game.
My wife know.
I'm crazy.
My wife know. I come upstairs with an attitude to the dinner table shit. I'm just picking in my spaghetti. She's like, you down there on that man again? I said, yeah. And he running a bullshit ass offense.
He coming through the whole game.
Same play. And man, it's a glitch. It's got to be a glitch. Because I'm running the cover 3. I got all that shit covered. He keep taking Tyreek Hill, running across the middle because he know no linebacker can run with him. But they don't give you enough time so I can substitute the safety. My wife be like, I'll put your food in the
Just go
microwave.
back.
Yeah.
Go run it back.
Yeah.
She's like, I don't want to hear this shit.
Yeah,
You're not
I'm
going to be
straight.
right.
I'm straight.
Yeah.
How is that? Both of y'all being DJs, how do y'all manage that? We got another DJ in the house, but how do you manage that practice time or that space to even be with your music?
is my getaway from being a lawyer.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's like that's just an escape. So I enjoy every minute of that.
Yeah.
And once you practice enough, it's like, man, I'm just having a little fun with it. Like that's really all it is. It was never a thing of like, man, I got to put these hours in. I got to make sure I'm ready. Got to make sure my set is good. And then like she love the music too, so she pulling up to the gigs and she work because she stand next to me and there's no request. Shorty's coming up with, can I hear?
Nah.
Talk to her.
Talk to my manager.
That's how we met.
Talk to my manager.
That's how we met, man. I was working at a place. I used to be a bouncer too, so we worked across the street from each other in Wicker Park.
Yeah.
And like I was always see Chester with him. That's just definitely one of the day one. I actually seen it. Like so, yeah. Like
So for me, the DJing thing was a challenge. So I started out DJing. My good friend DJ Dollar Bill lives in Atlanta now. Gave me my first mixer. He said, I'll give you your first mixer because I got an old mixer you can have.
Yeah.
You got to build around it. So I went and bought some 12s. And I had a whole bunch of records. And he's like, you got all these goddamn records, man. You ain't doing shit with them. He's like, I'm looking through your crates. Like, you got some heat. That was from being in the Army for 8 years. And all we did was listen to music. Like, we over in Germany, I'm grabbing.
Oh, you got the good shit.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? We like singles. Like, I'm like, woo. I'm like, this shit crazy. You know, like pressed vinyl with the artist on it and shit. Like, so he was like, dog, why don't you use this shit? Like, you letting it go to waste. Like, man, I'll give you this mixer, buy you some tables, and start practicing. And so when I started practicing, yeah, just beat mastering, beat juggling like that. You know, he said, all I want you to do is blend. Learn how to blend. And after that, you do whatever you want to, but I need to know you blend. I practiced for like 2-3 years before I even told anybody that I wanted to DJ. Then it became, I wanted to impress him. I wanted to impress you. I wanted to impress Bulu Master, Phantom, like all these different DJs, Jay Illa, you know, Mustafa Rocks, because I didn't want to be Leon Rogers, the celebrity DJ. I wanted cats to be like, nah, Leon on that motherfucker played records.
Yeah.
Better dig in your crates, because y'all get him on that 90s, 80s shit. He's an old head. he lived that era.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm 48. So they was like, and then Mustafa was like, I didn't want to come out and be, you know how Paris Hilton and them get ridiculed. I didn't want to be that dude. I wanted people to be like, critique me, judge me. If it was a fucked up blend, tell me, let me know. You know what I'm saying? Vic Lloyd, all them guys. Like, let
rest
me
in peace,
know.
Tim. He was the one that came to me like, yo, this is trash. Work on this.
Tim told me one day.
He was good for that.
All right, cool.
He said, don't you crack jokes?
Tim was good for that.
I was like, yeah. He was like, oh, okay. And then he walked away, and I was like, oh. I was like, oh my God. I didn't even get like a critique. He's like, don't you crack jokes? All right.
That's a Tim move. Yeah, that's a Tim move. That's a Tim move.
But
that's definitely a Tim move.
But that motivated me.
Yeah.
And then one day I played a set. He came in on the end of it. He didn't know it was me. He was like, yo, who the fuck was that just up there rocking? Sharif was like, he's like, yo, okay. I see you, funny man. And I was like, but for me, I was
that's
like,
that validation,
that's enough.
Man.
Everybody.
No.
Tim love me. I'm going none of y'all
say, I'm quitting. Matter of fact, I'm done with this
The
shit.
funniest shit with Tim, G, is Tim's like lightweight backhanded compliment would be like the best you would get from Tim. You know what I'm saying? Like, I remember I would go into spots and like, at first I met him. I mean, I've been to him through like just being around the same age at the parties, whatever, high school and all that stuff. But I remember like when I actually was like considering myself like I'm walking into space as an artist that you should want to play my record because I've known you for this long. Right. And like I thought it was just automatic. Like it makes sense. We from the same kind of backpack era, da-da-da. We used to hang out. We used to be around Kenwood hanging out and all this stuff that you was doing. He'd be like, where's the record? Like, fuck all that. And I would give him the record and never play it. Then one time, this motherfucker like just, I think he just threw my shit on, and I wasn't expecting. It was like the one time I was just like, man, forget Tim, man. I'm just here to have fun. Right. And he looked at me like, like watch this. Like, and he only played like half a verse, but still. But I was like, he put the shit on. Like
I think like when Boy Genius invited me to do a set at Timbuktu's, I was like, oh okay, getting a little respect out here. And of course, for me, when I do anything, that's what it's about for me. Like I don't have to be the best, you know what I'm saying? Because I know if I put my head down and work, I'm going to be in the room with the greats. Yeah. My thing is I want the greats to look and say, you nice. You got it. You nice, bro. Yeah. You nice. A motherfucker, Jay Illa can look at me in my face and say, you ain't me, but you nice. Yeah. That, to me, that's everything. Because I know he top 5 out here. Right. So for him to say I'm nice, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, some people get into the competitive shit, like, woo out the bam. I'm like, bro, I'm not here to compete against you. Trust me, I'm thinking so much bigger than this little room right here. You can have the family then. God bless. No. You can have this shit. What I'm about to do, because me and DJ Rock was talking about that. Rock was like, this is my weight room. I come here during the week to work out. So when I go out of town, I'm slapping the shit out of people. Yeah. Same way I do with comedy. I go to little local rooms. We just
getting it ready.
We just here repping.
Getting it ready.
When we go hit Denver, Colorado at the Improv for the weekend, we trying to sell 50 T-shirts a night. That's what all that was for at the crib.
Because then become muscle memory, and once you get out there, you just like.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't know. I'm gonna ask y'all this as entertainers, artists. Sometimes I feel Chicago is spoiled by us. Yeah, I believe they see us so much. It's like they too cool to like I've done shows, like I'm doing open mic shows, and motherfuckers is like they laughing, but you can feel it's like that.
That entertain me laugh.
Yes! Yeah. Okay, so I know make me laugh. Yeah. Simple Negro.
Like, exactly. That wasn't as good as your shit last month.
Where Michael Jackson's the Pharaoh with the model.
Yeah, like this nigga there with a goblet. Bring us more wine and let the just entertain us. Yeah. And it's like, but then I take that same set and I go to Atlanta
and that kill.
And just like, why don't you have a 1 hour special? You forgot. And I'm like, so this my shit is dope. It's just I think Chicago audience get used to us. Like they
Mhm.
get, and I don't think it's a bad thing, but it's just kind of like we're in a relationship
That's true.
and you've gotten comfortable with me.
Yeah.
So a lot of times I make myself scarce. So when people
Mm.
do see me, they're like, "Oh shit, I ain't seen you." You're like, but it's kind of frustrating. Like you in there playing a set. You're like, motherfucker, I dug in the crates tonight, man. I blew dust off shit. They was like, you ain't play Finito though. What?
What?
If you think about the
Nigga
artists,
died.
the artists that have broke from Chicago, they didn't break here. They had to go crazy in
Of
Atlanta,
course.
Yeah.
do the little Midwest circuit,
Of course.
and then Chicago was like, "Oh yeah, we got respect for you. We've been liking you." Like,
Yeah, we
But
have to go to New York.
Why you couldn't tell me that while I was here?
Cause
it's a double-edged sword. It makes us tougher. It makes us a better performer, a better artist. But on the flip side, you're like, man,
It hurt a
it
little.
hurt. I was about to quit. I'm about to be done with this. I didn't know y'all really respected me. It's like,
nah,
It's-
man.
It hurts. Like I be looking at shit. I'm like, yo, man. Like when Rail took off, right?
Mhm.
People's like, oh yeah, Rail overnight sensation. I said, man, Rail been doing this shit 15, 16
Yeah.
years, man. Where y'all at? Like y'all don't come out to these grassroots.
That nigga used to
rooms.
be
It's
at
a
Red
lot of-
Pepper and all
Man,
type of little
all
spots.
types of dives and
Like,
shit, man. The warehouse, you know what I'm saying, performing behind the bar.
Yeah.
There's all types of crazy shit. Giovanni's show don't start till 1 in the
Man.
morning. You know what I'm saying? How y'all just thinking that this? No, you seeing the end result of years of that stone being polished,
Mhm.
and it's
what's it,
still a
10,000 hours?
Man.
10,000 hours.
Yeah, the Outlier, it's a good
Yeah,
book.
yeah, that's one of my
Malcolm
favorites too.
Gladwell.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But you partially to everybody, you just whoever they know you from in high school. Because it took motherfuckers a minute to. So I go to New York, I go to LA, I go wherever. What's up, Knowledge? What's up, Knowledge? What's up, Knowledge? I be in Chicago.
What up,
with-
Jabari?
They be like, yeah. So how that knowledge thing going? Like when
Oh,
motherfuckers from
dude,
Chicago
like,
put that
burns-
thing
that
on
burns the shit out
it,
of me. Hey, how your
like,
little comedy thing going, man? What,
like-
motherfucker?
like-
And it takes
Hey,
everything in
motherfucker
my
walked up to me.
power to
Hey,
not
motherfucker walking to me under the. Hey, you still doing that lawyer thing?
bruh.
What are you talking about? This is a
yeah.
profession,
My
bro.
career,
Yes, this is
it's
my
my
career.
life.
Like, yes, I'm
That's why I
still
tell-
doing
that's
this
why I tell
thing.
people in my field, I'm a journalist. And
Yeah.
I work at the Sun Times, and like when I first told people, like, yeah, I'm gonna do freelance writing, do other stuff. Like, oh, you still doing that journalism thing? Like, hell yeah, I'm doing. Well, who the fuck is this
At
last
Nobody
least
week?
didn't
y'all-
get respect until your picture was on
But
one
at
of
least
the
y'all
articles.
just,
on the
at least
show,
y'all getting the thing put, but like the lawyer thing, the
Yeah.
journalism thing, the knowledge thing. I get
You
how
still
your little
telling them
comedy
jokes?
shit doing.
Still
Yeah.
telling them
Little
joking jokes.
comedy shit. Bitch, I got a
Bless your
TV
heart.
or a show
Yeah.
on late night, 11:30 on regular TV,
TV,
not
yep.
cable.
We ain't
Yep.
talking this fucking
Man,
local
I
access.
just have to bring it down.
Bring it down.
Oh, it's going good. You know what I'm saying? I got a few things working. Whoop up the band. Then they turn right back around. Oh, yeah. Well, let me know when you do something. Well, actually, I'm going to be at the Airy Crown this New Year's Eve. Me and my man D-Ray, I'm doing 3 shows. Oh, I'm going to come and support. Put me on the list. That ain't support,
Yeah,
motherfucker.
right.
Right.
Yeah.
I can't front that.
Yeah.
It was this guy that almost gave me the perspective that things could happen. I think it was like 03, 04.
Mm-hmm.
I see him in the Source magazine. Now I done met this brother. We go way back on some American Legion high school baseball.
Yeah.
So when we was playing baseball back in the day, he used to always be rapping on the bus. Just
Mhm.
always freestyling to the games and all that. Of course, we go to college, we separate ways.
Mhm.
I look up one day, he in the Source magazine, the Holy Grail. I'm like, wait a minute, Chicago can do this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I know I heard of Common before, but I ain't never seen him before. I ain't never seen Twister before, but this one, the guys.
That's the guy. I
Yeah.
know him.
I know him. So as soon as I get back to Chicago, this is the first
And
person
now
I'm
you just
looking
hoping
at.
he don't act funny.
And there was none of that.
None of that,
Yeah,
right.
None of
Same
that.
nigga.
That's, I don't know. Like, I used to go to some of your shows, and like I was, because I felt like you was in that lane where you was like a hood nigga, but it was like you was talking about school and college. Like
who I
that shit, that's
was.
me. And
I was who I was, a frat
Yeah.
boy who fucking was from the South Side.
What year was
like,
this?
Man, our first project came out in 06. That was like, but
It
I
was
had
like
got
the
signed to
Unsigned
Monop.
I
Hype
hate you, young
article. It was an Unsigned Hype article, I think.
You know what I'm
in
saying?
04, yeah.
Monop signed.
Young
Monop,
niggas get on my fucking
Look at-
nerves.
Talking about
He's like,
04.
look, he was like, he's like, 2006.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? Shit.
That was my look. Let me show you how crazy this is. 2006 was my first year at WGCI. I had been in radio
That's
3
about
years.
right.
I was at Power
That's about
for
right.
3 years. I started September 11th, 2006.
That's crazy.
September this year, it'll be 15
The
years.
day after my birthday. That's literally the day after my birthday. But like,
Crazy.
Then he was plugging me on all them CMJ shows.
yeah.
We go out to New York. Then I'm finally around. Like, It was Duck Down Records, Ruckus Records, all these dudes.
Yeah.
So then I'm like, wait a minute, because I had this mystique of what an artist was, and as a person wanting to get into entertainment law, I was like, I ain't never gonna be able to be around these guys. I'm getting starstruck. Yeah. Then I finally sit down with these people and all that, and I'm like, wait, they human.
Yeah, they just
real human.
Yeah, they real human. We talking about the same sports games and all that. So I'm like, oh yeah, this can definitely be done, man.
Bro, that's 2006.
Because I was moving around.
Fucking crazy.
Because I remember
like when I get around like beautiful young minds like y'all, dog, I'll be like, God damn, what did I do with the early parts of my life? Where I feel like y'all, like, this motherfucker lawyer, you know what I'm saying? You had been in a source, you know what I'm saying, 2006. Nigga,
yeah, Northwestern now, you know what I'm saying?
That's a whole different, my lane is
shifted. What I'm saying?
So,
but this is what I tell people, though. They always see the ending product.
Yeah.
They don't see all that shit you went through. Like, they don't see everything I went through. Like, when they just see, like, oh, man, you got a TV show now, man. I'm like, bro, this 23 years in the making, man.
Yeah, real talk.
23 years
Because they don't realize how hard it is to have a show and to constantly keep coming up with content for the show. Yep. It took 20 years of preparation to, like, now you know how to every week. I'm good. I'm here.
And still do radio in the morning.
Right.
Get off every day and then go take my show. You know what I'm saying? The grind, it's still a grind.
Yes.
Like, I ain't nobody made it. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to get 100 episodes.
Mm-hmm.
So we could, boom, start getting that real money. We get decent now, but I'm a contributor.
Wait, so when you get to 100 episodes, it's
well,
another...
ratchet up a little bit.
Okay.
So they cut me at 99. You're going to have a story to write because I'm
Shoot, hey, you gonna have a lawyer to call. I got you.
You gonna have the best story. I'm gonna give you an exclusive. I'm like, just call my man.
Hey,
tell him I'm holed up here on Fox 32, and I'm gonna give him an exclusive.
Episode 99.
We make the news. It's gonna be blood everywhere.
This furniture will be moved.
Man, I'm sitting here right now. I got 4 hostages. Tell them, come on. Tell them, let him in. Don't let nobody else in. Bring a recorder and record this shit.
That's a gift, though, man.
He finna get a Pulitzer, goddammit.
So that's 14 years?
14 years of that.
GCR?
A young guy told me the other day, kind of blew my mind, man. I was like, fuck him at the same time, though. He was like, yo, he say, Mr. Rogers, I just want to say, man, you my Tom Joyner, you my Doug Banks.
Yeah.
Fucked me up. He had just graduated college, had his little wife, he had a good job. He's like, bro, you got me through high school. He said, you came to my grammar school. You came to my high school. I went to Farragut. And he said, you came to my college. You came to Northern. Then when I was getting my master's at U of I, you came up there and did a show at Foley Jahar. And I was like, God damn, I've been doing this a long time. He grew up, and that was cold. But at the same time, I was like, shit. I said, hey, let me go over here to this aisle 6 and get this just for men. Put this
Beijing back in
the house.
Get back
just
cracking.
made me feel old in the motherfucker. But it felt good, though, to hear somebody say that.
Yeah.